All right, guys. We've got a lovely question here. Obviously, someone's recently watched one of my videos. I think it's the one to do with the Wall Street bets and this and that, because there were some questions, or probably the one I released today. So what happened was a brother asked me, why is it that the Ethereum has no cap? So I'm going to get into this one, and also if I could do Fibonacci on the market cap, I'm going to talk about that one as well, right? So let's have a little deep dive. And trust me, I don't have anything on me. I don't have my laptop with me to pull the data out or anything like this, right? You've literally just asked me this question, and I've got it. Literally what I did was I just made a little note and I said, right, I'm going to talk about it now, and I'll make a video, so this way at least it could be out there, more people could see it as well. So Ethereum, when it was originally created, created by brilliant minds, you know some of the names, some of the popular names, like Vitalik Buterin, Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson, and there's another guy, I forget his name. So anyway, there was four of them anyway. There's a lot more involved, like, some of the developers and everybody got paid as well, so they're still part of it. Technically, they're still co-founders as well. Right, but the official names that were on the paper were of those four guys. So Vitalik Buterin was originally working on a project with another third party, and the project was actually called Masternode. And he sat on Masternode and he was working and doing. This is another currency that came just after Bitcoin, but it didn't survive, or I think it's called something else now. Anyway, so that coin failed, and he saw a problem, and he said, well, what if we could do things differently? So he obviously partnered up with Charles Hoskinson, Gavin Wood, and a few other people. And Gavin Wood is actually a very crucial person in the ETH space. So he's a very powerful person technically, right? And I'll explain why. The Ethereum language, to writing language, the Solidity language, well, Gavin Wood actually helped create that. That's a very unique coding language. Gavin Wood, also known as Dr. Gavin Wood, funnily, he does have a doctorate, so he's from UK. So you have to understand, there's this Russian-Canadian, Vitalik Buterin. I don't know about the other guy, I think he's European. We'll leave it there. Then you've got an Englishman, Gavin Wood, right? And then you've got Charles Hoskinson from USA. So it was like a global team came together, and trust me, they just came together for this project. Anyway, so let's cut the story short, and they create Ethereum. 2013 or 2014, I believe it was, they create Ethereum. Everything's all going good. When Ethereum was created, originally, they had no such mindset about creating a supercomputer. It was just another cryptocurrency. But the language has flexibility, right? So the Solidity language had complete flexibility. It was like a combination of, think about it, like all the best of Java, this, that, whatever, Oracles, and other languages that we had there, right? CC plus and whatnot. Trust me, it's probably 1,000 of them there. So you have all of this language, and they put all the languages together, and they say, well, we want our unique one, which does pretty much and pulls the data. It can interact with all sorts of this. I'm sure you've heard Web 3.0 being thrown out there, and that's the new kind of an evolution of what's happened with Ethereum. But let's stick to the subject, right? So when they launched it, it was supposed to be a stable currency. So as a stable currency, they mined a certain amount, and they say, well, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to peg it, and we're going to do this, right? So it had the same kind of a function as a currency, where every year you print so many more, and it's inflated over time. That's when, what's his name? Charles Hoskinson disagreed and said, well, you know what? That's not how it should be, all right? We need to follow the principles of Bitcoin. And he left. So we know he left in 2015, and he went and he started up IOHK, which is now also known as Cardano, right? So leave that one there. Then Gavin Wood, the other guy, actually the other guy that I can't remember the name, he left as well in 2015, by the way, just late 2015, just after Charles, he left as well. And he went and done his own project. A lot of people don't even know about it, but he's not as popular, but he started another blockchain. Anyway, Then we have a situation where you've got two guys, and there was this massive hack on Ethereum, where somebody was able to print like a double spend basically, or I forgot what it was. It was a DAO, something to do with the DAO. So the decentralized autonomous organization function of Ethereum. There was a massive hack. And Ethereum Foundation, the Ethereum itself, Vitalik Buterin, the whole founders, they all decided, they said, you know what, fine, someone's hacked it, we're just going to fork the whole thing and do a brand new coin. And that is something like in a cryptocurrency, fundamentally wrong with that. You can't just abandon a project and then just say, okay, that project is ruined, so we'll just scrap it and we'll do another one. That's where ETC, Ethereum Classic, was born. So the original Ethereum is actually Ethereum Classic. The Ethereum you know now is actually technically Ethereum 2.0, right? It's not the original Ethereum. Anyway, majority of the consensus was to move over to Ethereum. This is why Ethereum has its own kind of a thing now. So it's established as Ethereum. And you know where we are now. Then over time, obviously, with all the upgrades, the Ethereum proposal, like what's it called? EIP. Come on, the name's not coming to me. What the words mean anyway. See, it's just not coming to me in my head, so I'm completely sorry. I'm doing multiple things, but anyway, the point is they started launching all these upgrades. Now that's when Gavin Wood left, right? Gavin Wood of Polkadot, he left. He said, well, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. You can't just pick up a project, right, and say, well, scrap the old version, let's bring a brand new version. How many times are you going to do that? So he went and created Polkadot. And Polkadot pretty much has the same kind of a function as Ethereum's original function, which is an inflationary currency. I'm not sure if they have a cap, if they ever will have a cap. But the funny thing is the code itself, there is an option. You can actually put a cap on it. And what you'll notice that because a lot of the smart contracts that are utilizing Ethereum as a blockchain can define the total number of supply. You can turn around and say, that's it, maximum supply. So Ethereum also can do that if they want to. Why? Don't know. But what I do know is the Ethereum Foundation has 500 of the world's global elite members, right, companies, you know, funding into it, and the foundation is like so they get paid for research into Ethereum, and a lot of world's governments, banks, and this and that are highly involved in this foundation. So this is what you have to understand: that Ethereum itself, it's a decentralized project, but funded. The research is funded more by centralized companies. So, you know, each of the founders left because of these kind of fundamentals that it just didn't work out, right? How can you have a coin that you can just move over whenever you like, print more if you want? That's bad. How can you have no cap? That's bad, right? And all sorts of other stuff. So we're looking at all of this, right? So this is where Ethereum doesn't have a market cap. But Ethereum current team do realize this, that the biggest, well, they realize something else, and it's actually working to the advantage. So they realize that through all of their upgrades, right? So there's a fee system. The fee system is how much you want to pay, you are willing to pay. And a lot of the companies out there who are using this protocol are actually kind of pumping up the fees a little bit. So they're like, right, you got to pay this much fee, that much fee. And there's quite a good trick in there as well, actually. So say, for example, I launched a protocol, like a wallet, right? And I said, you can use my wallet and boom, 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 whatever. I can actually keep a very small chunk of that fee. So a lot of the wallet providers are making money out of you. So you're paying fee, assuming somebody's charging the fee, but they're actually making a little bit of chunk there as well. So that's what was going on. And then, so obviously this has become a bit of a problem. And then recently in 2020 and 2021, Ethereum kind of bottlenecked here, where the fees were so high that an average guy, average Joe, can't use it. It was only for the big mega money institutions. And when I'm talking mega money, come on, everyone knows, right? These are guys moving 100 million in each batch, right? You know, they can afford to buy 100 million, 200 million. So if it costs them $1,000, $2,000 to move it, when you're moving 100 million, even if it costs you $1 million, it doesn't matter, right? So that's what you got to understand. It's like the percentage, right? You know, so they're not bothered about what the fees are. They're used to paying that kind of money, fees in banks, and probably pay even more. So this is what happened. And so the EIP 1559, the London upgrade, the proposed London upgrade. So nobody's sure. I mean, they did say it's kind of on the radar for July, but it might not confirm in July. And if it does, then there's a lot of other things going on in July. But we'll leave that aside for now, the politics of the EIP. But what it proposed was basically there's going to be a fixed fee, a base fee. So everybody gets, all the miners get the same amount of fee. And also because currently Ethereum is running on a proof of work, which is the same algorithm as Bitcoin. And they want to move over to proof of stake, means, if whatever quantity you put in, and if your node is running 24/7 without a failure, you will get accordingly to that a specific base rate. So it's like a fixed APY or something, whatever you call it, right? It's a fixed rate you get, which actually makes it a lot more profitable. So this way people can't manipulate the system and then charge whatever they like. So that's one of the things. And then they've put there's a voluntary, like a gift, like you can tip. So instead of you upping the fee, you can actually now tip, right? The thing, so they can process it faster for you. So that's another option they've added on. And then on the fees, they're going to burn a small percentage. I forgot what percentage it was, but they're going to burn that. That's the magic, right? If they start burning the fees, so the more people use it, the more fees will burn. Now, we know currently on a single day, we do like, I think it's 2 billion worth of transactions on Ethereum. Because you have to understand, Ethereum has the biggest ecosystem on the planet right now until others competitors come along. And so they use, if you go to the, just search fees, like Ethereum fees on Google, you can see exactly how much fees each day, 7 days and this and that. So, I mean, if you can burn a certain percentage of those fees, that's literally you're burning the Ethereum itself. And that will definitely propel Ethereum's price, because the less supply you have, the more the price. Of course, we know that scarcity creates price. So that's what's going to happen. But currently, obviously, a lot of the other companies, layer 2 solutions and a lot of other blockchains are seeing the problem. And this is what it is. Like a lot of these projects, like blockchain projects, right? Every project is an evolution of the previous project. And everyone's trying to solve the previous one's problem. Like Bitcoin has a problem where you can't do smart contracts. You can't do anything. I mean, imagine you were able to do smart contracts, right? Lightning Network solved one problem, which was that the fees were, you couldn't do microtransactions. Lightning Network says, well, you can do whatever you want, and it's a very small Satoshi is what you're going to be paying. They solved it. Blockstacks, they came in and they said, well, we can do a layer 2 where we will settle it for you, but you can do a smart contract on the thing. Again, problem being solved by somebody else, not by the blockchain. So all the new blockchains that are coming, they have the function and they are definitely keeping it upgraded. So they can do the upgrades, they can move with time, because we have to evolve. Again, Moore's law comes in. If you don't keep up with time, you're going to be left behind. And this is one of the reasons why when it came to Bitcoin, I've said it in one of the videos quite some time ago, actually. I've mentioned it a few times in the beginning. That Bitcoin was originally designed as a peer-to-peer money system, right? And it was fine, it was valid, right? When you're moving, 1,000 BTC, which is only worth $100, it made sense. But now it's not the same thing anymore. Bitcoin has proven to be a better store of value than a monetary system. So obviously the torch has to be passed on to somebody else, right? And Ethereum probably took it, but then Ethereum right now has proven to be a better supercomputer than a store of value. It's better as a utility. So that's where Ethereum kind of trumps everybody else. So other people are coming, but then obviously Ethereum has a problem. So other companies are coming out to do more, more practical stuff and reduce fees. I think there's going to be a time where we'll probably have no fees at some point in the future. I mean, there are some blockchains out there who they literally don't charge you anything. And funnily, Ethereum actually has a protocol that allows you to have feeless if you want. So there are technologies out there, but everybody was looking for monetization, so that's another story. Now, you wanted to know about charts and market cap Fibonacci. Let me be honest with you. you can't do a market cap Fibonacci. What I did the other day, it's the first time, go and check in history that anyone's put a Fibonacci on the market cap. And I did it just for fun, right? Because the market cap itself is a vast, vast ocean, right? We can measure a bucket, we can measure a pond, we can measure a well. We can't measure the ocean, right? Regardless how much people say, okay, this is what we can calculate. We might be able to calculate a certain thing, but we won't be able to calculate every drop of water in the ocean. So it's quite tough because you don't, first of all, man hasn't even gone all the way down to the bottom of the sea yet. Man doesn't know how far we go down. So can we really count the volume of water on the planet and say that's it? It's not possible. So for fun, yeah, I mean, I might do it every now and then, but I don't think I'm going to be doing the market cap Fibonacci because it is a freaky one. It doesn't work, because each coin has its own value, but the market cap has a different sentiment, and then you got to break them down. So remember what I said in the video. Market cap is what I'm focusing on for various reasons, but one of the reasons is institutions. And for institutions to go, I can see if the market cap grows and each independent coin in the category, right? So in the respective category, for example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, if each one of them capture a certain percentage of the market, then other institutions will be interested. That's what I'm saying, basically, nothing else. And there are plenty of other fundamentals coming in, and we're definitely going to have this thing where we might go to 4 or 5 trillion. Other charts weekly, I'm going to try and keep them weekly because, if I start doing charts every day, they change every day, and you're going to start getting too confused because I want to get everybody into the habit of not focusing too much on the charts or the news and this and that. Forget that. Ask me any question and I'll answer them every day for you. So I'll be doing my daily releases, my drive time videos. It's easy for me. I'll do those. But I think you have to set targets. And this is what I mentioned today in one of the charts. Somebody asked me, I think it was VChain. I said, we haven't reached our previous target. So any target, new target would be after we hit that target. So if we've made a target a month ago, then we need to get to those targets. So for example, if somebody asks me for BTC and says, what's the target now? I'll be like, it doesn't matter. Unless you're trading, then you need your hourly, 4-hourly thing. I can do that if that's what you guys want. If you're trading, then I can give you, this hour we're going to do this, or we might have a breakout. But we're not looking for that. What we're looking at is a greater structure in the market and where the lowest price would be and where the highest price would be, right? That's what we're looking at. And those are the targets that we set. We're not doing breakout trades. I mean, well, maybe I am, but the point is it's a dangerous game. You don't want to be in it, right? So it can mess your head up. It can really mess your head up and you can lose money. And the signals are not 100%. There's a lot of guys out there who are every day, market might go up, market might go down, right? And then the following day, exactly as predicted. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, right? Just by saying up or down, it doesn't mean you were correct, right? When we set targets and we say that's the price we're going to go to, that's correct because that's the target we are getting to. I'm not going to give you 2 different targets. But if you guys want that, then I can do short-term stuff. That's not an issue. What else were we going to look at? Sorry, I'm looking down at my thing. So that's that. I think you asked me another question. I'm going to try and see if I can scroll down because you just asked me. You said question number 3, how much Bitcoin is available for sale in monetary value? Just give us an idea. We are talking 5 trillion left, 10 trillion, 15 trillion worth left. Again, it's a big question. Okay, understand this, right? How many Bitcoins we print per day, right? I can get a calculator. Actually, my calculator's behind the phone. I think we print approximately 900 coins a week or a day. I think it's a day, 900 coins a day, yeah, because every 10 minutes we're printing 12 and a half. Multiply that by 6 and then multiply that by 24. I think it's 900 coins per day. So that's what we mine. So you can do the maths there for yourself and see exactly how much you mine. Now, when you're talking about $5 trillion worth, $10 trillion, it's not valid. The reason it's not valid is because after the 900 coins that are mined every day, there is nothing available, right? The rest are going to be mined in the future. And remember what I said, the last coin is going to be mined, the last 121 millionth coin is going to be mined in year 2140. I forgot what date it was. There is actually a date. I think it's May or something. I can't remember, but 2140, just for the sake of it, right? We're probably not going to live to that long. During that time, depends what the money's worth. I mean, if you're going to be like Zimbabwe and have this $50 trillion note, then I mean, just I'll let you assume how many $1 trillion worth of BTC could be. But also remember, I made that video why I believe Bitcoin would be worth 100K in 5 years. And remember, it doesn't make sense when you look at that video, but actually if you understand the deep concept behind it, and I do explain it in the video, why I feel that. All this money printing is gone parabolic, right? So there's a lot of money being printed and, you know, it's just coming into the market. At some point, the government will control it. They will stop it. And when they do, when they press that button to stop it, right, they might just minus a few zeros off your notes or print some sort of a new money, and CBDC might come in and say, well, today's £10 is worth £1 tomorrow. So even if by then a 1 Bitcoin is worth 100K or a million, you know, whatever you want to say, right? Just take the zero off and you'll see what I mean. So 5 years time, Bitcoin could be worth $1 million, but if you minus a few zeros, guess what? It's going to be 100K. So I know the video I made, it doesn't make sense, but that's the reason why I left it there as an evidence, as a proof that, look, I said it so, because I'm making that logical decision. It's like, well, they have to take a few zeros off. I mean, 120 something trillion dollars in debt, the whole globally, right? That's how much money is just moving around. So someone's got to control it. That's what it is. Someone's got to control it. I mean, it looks like rich are getting rich and this and that, but it's not. You can see that by looking at the market, stock market, people are pumping money in there. Where did they get all the money from? I mean, we just had a year and just over a year's worth of COVID lockdowns, right? Government's printing money 24/7. Where do you think the money's going? This money has no value. So obviously the money's coming in. At some point, they're going to take a few zeros off. And when they do, that's when you're going to see that whatever value, say for example, Bitcoin today is worth 60K, well, tomorrow it might be worth 6K. But it's not a bad thing. This is what you have to understand, because you're still going to be worth more than everybody else, right? So there's a lot more to it. I mean, there's a lot more to it. If I start explaining it, I've got to make a whole video on it. But the concept is very big. You have to understand with complete logic and reason what would happen, you know, because if this continues, then we are going to see a $50 trillion note, just like Zimbabwe has, right? Where these guys, there's a video I saw, a very famous video, went viral, where a young boy was going to the shop to buy something with a wheelbarrow full of notes. And the guy who interviewed him, he said, stopped him and he said, aren't you worried people are going to nick all your money? He's like, no, I'm worried people are going to nick my wheelbarrow. So that's the situation we're in at the moment. So you just have to understand. So obviously Zimbabwe is now controlling it, taking a few zeros. Iran's done the same thing. A few other countries have done the same thing. So that's what it is. You can't put a number on it right now. So, you know, your question, I hope it kind of answers it, because I'm looking at the notification, because if I press any button right now, it will cancel the video. But yeah, there's no point us saying, how many trillion, if it's 5 trillion, 10 trillion, 20 trillion, it could be gazillion worth, right? But it totally depends on the money system. When the money system stops printing, that's when our valuation of one BTC will start to kind of settle. And when we have for example, when we have the next halving, which is in year 2024, March, I forgot the date, I think it was March 13th. I did mark it on one of my charts. That particular date, after that date, we are going to double from whatever we are. So even this year, if we stick on 60 and stick around 60 until 2024, then 2024, we are definitely going to double from this number, because the supply of Bitcoin will be cut in half, right? So currently we've got 12.5 BTC. We're going to see 6.5 BTC. Well, are we on 6.5 BTC right now? I can't remember anyway. Whatever the point is, we're going to be half the supply. So when you get half the supply and you have more demand over time, and as you can see, a lot of people are already looking at Bitcoin, more people are aware of it, the value just jumps anyway, right? Once the supply is cut, value is going to jump. Whatever it is going to be double that. So by the end of this season, if we hit 100K BTC, 2024 guaranteed 200K. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people are moving their Bitcoin, because they understand it now. And so, you know, it just carries on. 2028, we're going to have the same thing. Whatever value you have in 2024, if it's a stable value, you're going to double that anyway, you know. So you can't really put a number on it. You can't put a number on it. Today, Bitcoin's worth what, 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion? Undervalued. According to the maths of how much money they're printing, BTC alone should be worth at least 2 trillion right now. And then 2024, it should easily be worth, well, I would say 4 or 5 trillion, just, you know, 2024, and so on and so forth, right? So we can just leave it there. I mean, the maths is not right because it depends on how much money, as I said. But anyway, I'm not going to make this any longer. It's a 25-minute video from the moment you sent that message to now. So I hope this kind of makes sense. What I will do, I will publish this on unlisted first, so you guys could, in the group, could see it, and then tomorrow I'll probably release it to the public on schedule. So yeah, I mean, if you want to watch it, just watch it in the group. So I hope this was informative. It's a deep subject. It's a deep subject. You've got to really see everything from the beginning to the end, what each one of these coins are doing. And there's too many to list. There's too many. But each one of them have their own fundamentals, and everyone's trying to solve the problem that the previous one had. So that's, I think, what you've got to stick around with. So other than that, guys, I'll see you on another one. Take care. Bye-bye.